Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my top 10 tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them to get your makeup to last all day long. So this isn't just for foundation, this is for eyeshadow, for eyeliner, for cheeks, for lips, for absolutely everything. I personally know how frustrating it can be when you spend ages doing your makeup only to find, 3 to 4 hours later, everything has either faded, it's separated, it's disappeared, it's melted off if you've got oily skin like me, your eyeshadow has smudged or your eyeliner smudged everywhere. Like all of that, it is beyond frustrating. So if you're wanting your makeup to look just as perfect as it does when you first apply it at the end of the day when you get home, this is going to be the perfect video for you. And yes, my top 10 tips for getting your makeup to last all day long. Let's jump into it. Okay, so first up we have a couple of tips on the best way to get your foundation to last as long as possible. And the first of those is to use a setting spray to set down the skin before you put any makeup on top. It's honestly life-changing, so just use it straight up on bare skin before even going in with a primer, and I promise your foundation will last so much longer. The second tip is to actually set your skin using a translucent powder before going in and applying your foundation. This lays down a really smooth base. It helps to absorb any excess oils, and again, it will help your foundation to last all day long. Will also help your skin appear a lot smoother when you finally do go in and apply your foundation. It will look beautiful, smooth, soft, and it will last all day or all night long. And then my third tip again is for the base. If you are someone who has issues with makeup rubbing off on your nose, on your chin, or acne spots, try using an eyeshadow primer there first before going in with your foundation. My favorite is the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the color Soft Ochre. It suits my skin tone, but I basically just push it into the skin on the areas that bother me. So for me, that's my nose and on any acne, and also on my chin. And then I will apply my foundation over the top. It really locks the foundation in, and it stops those areas of redness peeking through during the day. We'll just make sure that your foundation lasts really well on those areas and your skin looks perfect for as long as possible. Tip number 4 is all about how to get your eyeshadows to last longer and prevent them from creasing. And we all know already how important it is to apply an eyeshadow primer before going in with our eyeshadows. But did you know if you actually go in and bake that eyeshadow primer, your eyeshadows will last so much longer and they will never crease. So just taking a sponge and a little bit of translucent powder, I am baking that onto the lid exactly the same way that I would bake underneath the eye area when I have laid down some concealer. So pushing it into the skin there, letting it sit for a little while, and then coming back in and dusting off the excess with a brush. This will make sure that your eyeshadow primer is really well set, and it will create a really nice film over them to make sure that they stay all day long and that your shadows are perfect. Next up is eyeliner, and a really handy trick on getting eyeliner to not smudge and not bleed and not transfer underneath your eyes is to actually set it down with a black eyeshadow. So this applies to tight lining that I'm doing here. It also applies to those big, beautiful, bold wings that we do, and there is nothing worse than when you spend all the time trying to get them even and then all of a sudden they smudge everywhere. So what you need to do is just take a small angled brush, dip it into some matte black eyeshadow, and then basically push that eyeshadow into the eyeliner after you have applied it. So this works with gels or felt tip eyeliners, it works on all of them. Press that in and it will set it down and really lock it in place and prevent it from smudging and bleeding throughout the day. Tip number 6 is getting your false lashes to last longer. Have you ever been prone to either the inner corner or the outer corner of your lash sort of poking up and popping off the lash? Here's a handy little trick. Chop your lash in half. So just take a small pair of scissors, cut it straight down the middle. You could even trim it into 3 parts if you wanted, and then place those pieces on individually. I promise you, if it is something that you have struggled with in the past, your lashes will no longer pop off on the inner or the outer corners. And also, if you're a beginner with lashes, it makes it a whole lot easier to apply them until you really do get the hang of it. So there you go. Perfect. Tip number 7, we are returning to the base. And did you know that if you lock your foundation in by pressing a translucent powder into the skin with a damp blending sponge, it will last so much longer during the day. This is something that I have spoken about many times here before on my channel, but I just cannot stress to you how much of a difference this makes. So do it all over your entire face. Just gently press that translucent powder in. It will really lock that foundation down and prevent it from moving and getting shiny throughout the day. All right, tip number 8 is for bronzer. Now, have you ever had your bronzer or contour fade during the day? I certainly have, and it is a total pain in the butt. The best way to prevent this from happening is to actually apply a cream bronzer first. So whichever, bronzer you choose is fine. Blend it in with a sponge or a brush. Also, that's totally your choice. But then after that, I want you to take your normal powder bronzer or powder contour powder and actually stamp that over top of the cream and just really push that into the skin. It will really lock that color in. It's a double layer of color. It will help it last longer throughout the day, and it will prevent it from fading. Next up, I have a tip for getting your highlighter to last longer. We all want our highlighter to last longer, and again, it involves a setting spray. So quickly spritz the skin with a setting spray before going in and applying your highlighter. And while the skin is still slightly damp, I want you to take your powder highlighter on a brush and then apply it normally in the areas that you usually would. Now, what happens is the highlighter really clings onto that setting spray while it is drying, and it nearly sort of forms like a liquid kind of a product that dries down to a completely matte finish. But I promise you, it is budge proof. Your highlighter will literally be like paint and it will go nowhere. And then finally, tip number 10 is how to prevent your lipstick from fading, smudging, bleeding, and how to get it to last all day long. So you want to take a lip liner, preferably in a matching color and also preferably a long lasting one, and you want to actually completely color in the surface of your lips. So everywhere that the lipstick would go, I want you to apply the lip liner first. They will feel very, very funny, dry, sticky, and kind of odd, but then take whatever lipstick you are going to be applying and gently apply that on top. I promise you, once you do that, your lipstick will last so much longer. The lipstick really clings onto the liner and it stops it from sort of smudging off and fading, and it will keep it there all day long. So that's it for the video today, guys. I hope that you found it really helpful. If you do have any more questions about how to get your makeup to really, really last all day or all night long, please pop them in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? I think you should subscribe. I love you all so, so much, guys. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.